And when I think scout, I think stopwatch holding, notebook wearing, with a top hat. Steve Czaban, our buddy, long time DC radio host, now out in Green Bay covering the Pack. Zabe helps us scout the opponent. What's up, Steve? How are you?
You are looking live at I-43 North on an absolute Chamber of Commerce afternoon here in Wisconsin, where tonight it's just going to be a lovely night. No frozen tundra. By the way, scouting report on the Wegmans chocolate chips, an absolute elite talent at chocolate chip.
High level.
There is no better store-bought chocolate chip than the Wegmans tub.
None. And that, look, they're expensive for a reason. They're worth it.
Yeah, I'll pay for those every single time. By the way, today's one of those days where when the schedule came out, I said I got to get to Lambeau. It's always a must when it's on the schedule. And then you look at the travel, and I'm flying into Appleton, and for some reason Milwaukee's involved, and it's like 5 a.m. And I'm like, I just can't do this. But as we talk right now, just picturing what it's like over there at that, what do they call it, Champions neighborhood or whatever, I know it's perfect. It's just going to be such a great night.
It's nice. Now, you've been, as I recall, Grant, but Danny, I don't think you have.
Never have.
Oh.
It is my one bucket list sporting experience. All the others, like baseball stadiums, all the meccas, I've been to, done that. That's my one that I really, kicking myself, I haven't done it yet.
It's really cool, but I'll tell you, the locals, some of them bristle at how Disneyified the Lambeau area has become because, look, the Packers know they've got a gold mine they're sitting on, and they build these structures like this Johnsonville Brat House, which is a indoor football field-sized place to go get a beer and a brat and listen to a band before the game. And it makes sense because it's like, why are we letting the fans bring their own Webers and their own bratwurst and their own old styles? And we should be capturing some of that revenue. So I like it because it's a nice place to be, but the old school Packer fans sort of bristle at it because, they got that, they got a sledding hill, they got this place, that place, but nothing like it in the NFL. Tiny market, people park in front lawns in the neighborhood right across the street from the stadium. It's pretty cool.
Looking at this matchup tonight, Green Bay now is the national darling. I mean, post Micah Parsons trade, they were good beforehand, Zabe. Now with him kind of working into the fold, was on a bit of a pitch count in week one. That's going to expand. Who knows how much tonight, but this group is really, really good. Has the hype train kind of gone too far, or is it justified in your mind?
I think it's justified. I think, what they did to the Lions put a real charge into it because a lot of it was sort of wait and see. Parsons was amazing. He also admitted this week that he lobbied the coaches for more snaps because they were going to kind of limit him, and he just said, look, you can run me with all the wind sprints you want and practice stuff, running the ball. At some point I got to play football, and I got to power through it. So he got more snap counts. He wrecked Jared Goff from behind, tracking him down like a lion tackling a gazelle. It was pretty good stuff. I think the magnitude of the dominance of a team, the Lions, that had their number over the last 7 matchups, I thought really changed a lot of perceptions. But it's a week-to-week league.
Yes, it is. I think they're awesome. I think they might be the best team in the NFC with Philly. I also wonder, and I want to get your thoughts on this, we're basing, I know I'm doing this, they destroyed the Lions, and I'm going, man, that was a great win. How sure are we Detroit is still Detroit, and they're not going to be 10-7, 9-8 this year, and nowhere near what they were the last couple of years?
That's a great question. I think they're asking that in Detroit right now, and got reporters basically badgering Dan Campbell saying, just run the old offense. Not all the recipes, don't you? Wait, let's go back to doing what we did last year. It's kind of funny. We don't know. The Packers are deep and they're young. Youngest team in the league against the oldest team in the league. I try to tell some people up here that a number of the players on the Commanders skew the age a lot older. Who are some of the older guys that run that number up on you guys?
Yeah, so Tressway, obviously the punter, is 37. You've got Bobby Wagner is 35. Ertz is 36. I will say, though, while there are old guys like that run the number up, they went out and got 19 guys this offseason that were either turning 30 during the year or were already 30. So there's plenty of 30-plus-year-olds on that team.
Yeah, we got that.
Well, yeah, so I think those 3 guys really drag the average number up because I know that there has been that infusion of younger talent. So, look, it's a formidable test tonight, and for any Packer fan who was like, kill the Commanders, I go, okay, see, here's the thing. a lot of Packer fans, and this is true in any NFL city, but it's especially true for, I think, Wisconsin sports fans. They love the Packers. They watch the Packers religiously, and they'll glance at the rest of the league, okay? And none of them, not none, a lot of them have never really sat down and watched Jaden Daniels for a whole game. I've been trying to tell them. I'm like, this dude is it. He throws the ball great. He sees the field great. And he is slippery as hell and fast. And you'll be like, why can't we tackle him? I'm like, this is going to be a huge test.
By the way, Josh Johnson's 39, who's obviously the backup quarterback. So Tony Massenberg of the NFL, he has to now repeat teams because he's played for everybody.
Yeah.
So you got that part of the age combo as well. What is your Jordan Love assessment, getting to watch him as closely as you have over the last few years?
I think he's really good. I like who he is as well. LaFleur once said he's about the right bleep, and that's what he likes about him. He sat for 3 years as a first-round pick behind Rodgers. Sat for 3 whole years. Like, that just isn't done in the NFL anymore, and didn't say a peep about it. I was a little bit stunned. I was like, at some point, are you or your agent going to go, hey, you're wasting my guy's career here? But he never did. So I think he's got a great head on his shoulders. I think he doesn't do anything spectacularly, except at the end of the day, you're like, yeah, that guy just knows how to play the position. The biggest question up here has been, do they need a true number one at wide receiver? Do you need a 12-target guy? And I don't know if, Matthew Golden's ever going to be a 12-target guy because he's a little bit small. He's not as big as like a Jamar Chase or someone like that. But that's a good debate. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, you need a number one. You need a guy who can feed 12 targets and he'll get 8 catches for $135. Other times I'm like, nah, it's okay. A distributed attack is just fine. They got a good mix of youngish receivers that drive fantasy owners crazy because you never know who's going to be the guy that week. They got 2 good tight ends. Actually, Kraft is the better tight end now. He was supposed to be the blocking guy. Musgrave was drafted as the catching guy. He's a little bit been lost in the mix. But, yeah, Love is really good. Is he as good as when he got thermonuclear at the end of 2 years ago and was like 17 touchdowns over 1 INT and then ripped the Cowboys shred, limb from limb? Probably not. But he was hurt last year. Like, last year has to be graded on a total curve for him because he wrecked his knee in Brazil, took a couple weeks to get that right enough to play, and then he had a groin in Jacksonville. That wasn't quite right. So we'll see. First game so far so good.
Steve Czaban with us here on G&D. Offensive line, I get the sense that this is a good group. It's, built with maybe some of the less heralded names, not a bunch of first-rounders, but I feel like they're pretty good as a unit, Zabe.
They are, but they're down 2 guys today. Aaron Banks, the guy they bought on the open market this offseason, is down, and I forget who else was down on the O-line. So they're down a couple guys today. Zach Tom got dinged last week on a play. He just got paid by the team, so he's one of their better players. Elton Jenkins is good to move around. Got a first-round pick out of Arizona that has been slow coming. He got hurt last year with a shoulder. They hope he comes along. Got a guy named Rasheed Walker, who was out of Penn State's 7th-round pick, kind of fell all the way down. He's been the starting left tackle. He's been a huge find. Problem is he's going to get paid by somebody, probably not them. So it's going to be a little bit of a reconfigured line tonight.
Is Tom going to play? Because he didn't practice all week. He's listed questionable as well.
He might be the other guy they said was down, but I know that Banks is down for sure. So
Banks didn't practice, neither did Tom. So, yeah, that could mean something. I mean, you watch Washington and you see around the league, but the big development here this week, Zabe, was I was skeptical all offseason of their plan up front. Javon Kinlaw got paid like a all-pro, and I'm kind of going, scratching my head, what are they seeing here? He was a monster. Payne was back to getting, trying to look for a contract, looked like a Pro Bowler himself. The defensive line was incredible, and we're wondering, is that a Giants offensive line thing, or are they actually that much better?
Yeah, it's a great question. I know that Giant fans were bitching, like, it's not the quarterback. Look at Daniel Jones. Right. Our O-line has ruined 3 quarterbacks, if not more. Figure it out. Yeah, but it might be just your guys' D-line made them look stupid. So, yeah, I don't know.
Let's go to the other side of the ball for Green Bay. That defensive front, obviously Parsons demands so much attention. Even when he's not in the game, though, you finally got something out of Van Ness. Rashawn Gary's underrated, I think, but I was impressed with Devontae Wyatt in that Detroit game. They were in the backfield constantly, Zabe. How good is that group?
Parsons gets all the hype. Edgerrin Cooper, though, their linebacker, is the secret sauce. He started coming on late last year, first-round pick, and he is just a great linebacker. In a league that doesn't seem to value linebackers anymore, at least tackling linebackers, he's fantastic. So between him, Gary, and Parsons, I'm calling it the triangle of death because they just tormented the Lions last week. Did you know that Jahmyr Gibbs had 10 catches for 31 yards total?
Never seen that.
Well, right. It was a record for fewest amount of yards for a double-digit catch day. They swarmed to the ball. They erased plays. They're the big three. But Van Ness is part of that pass rush, and Van Ness has been a underwhelming first-rounder so far. And Parsons said after the game, he's like, you know what? Lucas is going to have his best year yet. In fact, I'm going to make sure of it. He's a great guy, great teammate, selfless, and you know what? He's going to be a great part of our package. They use Van Ness, Gary, and Parsons at times, at least they did, in what they're calling their cheetah package, which reminds me of what? The Giants and their, what do they call it? The racer package?
NASCAR?
The speed package?
Yeah.
With Jason Pierre-Paul. Who else was in that package?
Would have been like
Tuck.
Human Yura, maybe.
Yes, right. There you go. So, one game in, that's what they're talking. But again, it's a week-to-week league, or in this case, it's a half-week-to-week league.
So some numbers just to back up what Zabe was saying about this kid Edgerrin Cooper I saw this week. He stopped opposing rushers on like individual tackles, solo tackles, on 7.2% of his run defense snaps last year, which was the second highest graded rate since 2018. Like, it was just one of these years where everyone's going, who in the heck? How did we get here? Wow. I mean, he is a big deal. The other guy that I think he's been ejected from like 11% of the games I've ever seen him play. He's been like escorted off the field, and then like another 8% is Quay Walker. What's his deal now? I mean, has he kind of figured it out and connected the dots?
Well, Grant, he's from Georgia.
Yes, he is.
So you know what they say about Georgia football players. Sometimes don't make the best choices. Yeah, he got ejected from a game against the Lions because he pushed one of the Lions trainers who was trying to come on the field and help one of their injured players. It's like, okay, Galaxy Brain, what are you doing exactly? Walker's okay, but back to Cooper for a second.
Yeah.
Micah is in some IDP, individual defensive player fantasy league, and said, yeah, man, I got Edgerrin Cooper on my team, man. He helped me win this week. He had 36 points.
That's awesome.
That's funny.
Is he doing a pod? That became an issue in Dallas, supposedly, although we only heard about that after they traded him.
Yeah, the pod, I don't know what he's going to do, at least during the season, because it's harder to get he'll have to get his guests virtually, I suppose. I don't give two rats' asses about the podcast. If it was a problem in Dallas for reasons, I don't know why. He just strikes me, and this could be in the honeymoon phase with him, listening to Micah Parsons, he sounds highly intelligent to me, and he's got high emotional intelligence. And I listen to athletes like you guys do all the time. And there's a lot of them. Some of them are very smart, others not so much, some in the middle. He just strikes me as a really smart guy. But again, one game, big win, everything's gravy right now.
Josh Jacobs, still a burst. It wasn't terribly effective on the ground in game number 1 against Detroit. Not many running backs were, outside of Derrick Henry and a couple others maybe. But kind of your thoughts on him.
He's like a shifty power back. He was awesome for him last year, and they ran the wheels off him, and thank God he didn't get hurt. I think the Packers were like the 4th or 5th highest run percentage team last year, and that accounts for teams that have quarterbacks that run a ton, which Love does not. So they're behind, I think, only Philly, Buffalo, and Baltimore maybe. So they ran a heavy percentage in part because they had to with, Jordan Love hurt a couple games and whatnot. Jacobs is awesome. He's got a good head on his shoulders, good mindset, and he's shifty in that it's hard to get a square hit on him. And he's got some burst, he's got some moves. He won't run away from you per se, but he also is not afraid to run between the tackles and run hard. So as much as I like him, I was saying this off season, guys, with a healthy Jordan Love, I'd love to get back to being a passing team because that's what the league is. It's a passing league.
You got to have that club in the bag. At some point, you're going to have to. There's going to be a suboptimal down and distance where you're just going to have to win throwing the football.
It is a great tool to have. Can I ask a question to you guys? Because I'm dying to know.
Yes.
Did B-Rob get done dirty by the team?
I don't think so. He had 3 years to kind of do anything other than get 2.8 yards per carry, and it didn't quite work out. He's just a big plotting back. It's a good fit in San Fran where they need an insurance policy.
If it would have made contractual sense, I think they would have done it sooner, Zabe, honestly, because it didn't benefit him at all the week before now.
Why not ride him out to zero and let him walk? I mean, you might need a back this year, So
what they could have done, honestly, to your point, is they could have just deactivated him, had him on the 53, basically kept him around. I just don't think he would have played nice. Like this, he was one of the few guys in the locker room that took issue with play calling from time to time with the enemy. I just think when they went to him and said, "Hey, man, this is not great. You're on the bubble," my guess is that conversation didn't go that great.
Yeah. All right. Well, that ends that. So that was an issue. Is everyone in love with Bill?
Oh, they're all.
The hype train is left.
I mean, it's
rocket ship.
So much Bill. Nobody will call him Jacory or Krosky Merritt. It's just Bill. And originally, I think he just had a name. They're like, Danny and I were joking about this yesterday, where it's like, this guy's name's Jacory, but he goes by Bill. That's the coolest thing ever. And so everyone just loved him for that. They'd never seen him play football. Now it's actually turned out like, wow, for a 7th-round pick, he probably should have been a 3rd or 4th rounder, if not for getting kind of screwed by the rules last year. He can actually play.
It's wild. I love those stories, and I love nicknames that are weird, oddball nicknames. He's going to be the best running back name since Ben Jarvis Green Ellis.
The law firm.
The law firm is my favorite for sure. I didn't realize this until today. I've been to a bunch of these games at Lambeau, and I guess it's true that they've lost all those games, although there's been some good ones. There's competitive games there. But they have not had a win in Lambeau since Jay Schrader was their quarterback in '86. I think it's like 8 or 9 games that they've gone to Green Bay without a win. So Daniels is trying to do the unthinkable tonight. But now, a lot of the guys that went there, I remember a Heineke start, a Haskins start. I mean, here recently, it's been a different level of quarterback, but that's a long, long time.
Yeah, Heineke gave him fits a couple years ago. That was a hell of a game. Redskins even lost a game in which Favre threw 3 picks.
That's right.
And that was the late Sean Taylor, rest in peace, Super Sky Point, had one of those where he just covered the entire field, and you're just watching it going, damn.
Yeah, from the other hash mark, ran across, took a deep route.
Yeah.
Well, not from some noodle arm either. That was Brett Favre.
Are you going to be there tonight, by the way?
Yeah, I'm en route right now. I'll
Nice.
be. It's the winter warning game, so they're wearing their all whites, which is
I think
also
those
somewhat
are fire,
controversial.
by the way. Do you like those?
I know, but they're so traditional and they're so conservative up here. When they went to the white shells last year for the first time, a portion of the fan base lost their ever-loving mind.
Legit?
I like the white. I like the white out. The problem is I don't have any white gear, so now I got to go buy some damn white gear.
Post Labor Day, Zabe, you're very fashion forward. That's not like you.
You think being the flagship of the team at the Packer Pro Shop, which I think makes $12 million a year, would spiff the radio guys with some free stuff, but I don't know. Maybe I got to ask somebody.
Now, you worked with the legendary Doc Walker for many years over on the Team 980. Doc has this philosophy where, like, if you're hurt, I don't talk about you. Like, I don't talk about a guy that's not playing. Danny's one Doc Walkerism in that way is he doesn't talk about uniforms. Like, he's just not going to play my game.
I have so little interest, Zabe.
But can we all agree, Danny, if you want to sit it out, you can.
Okay.
The white helmets on the white jerseys on the white pants for the Packers are sick.
No.
That's a great look. The Bengals white tiger thing is also awesome. Maybe I just like all white.
I know. All right. So Grant, are you going to be excited for the half throwback skins flavored Commander kit later this year?
Oh, 100%. Gibbs era, 91 alts, anything that looks like the team that I cared about growing up and doesn't look like this new thing that isn't that, I'll be happy about.
It's the only uniform stuff I care about, Zabe, is that. Mostly because of the betrayal that they told us it would be like that, and then it wasn't for years. I just want that.
Well, they still say, Zabe, I know you probably don't get all of the briefings anymore in Green Bay, but they not these new guys, that they don't, they know better than to like continue the perpetuating the lie. But the group that did this still claims, like wherever they are working for random MLS team and random W MLS team or whatever, they're still telling you it is burgundy. We swear it's burgundy, and people are just holding these jerseys up side by side, going, "This ain't it, bro."
It's not burgundy.
It's not the same thing.
Right. It's not the burgundy that was burgundy, which may have been a brick red on the Crayola Crayon 64 crayon box. I don't know. Like, I'm not a Pantone expert when it comes to Sherwin-Williams colors, but it's not what it once was. So what if they, on that throwback weekend, went fully back? The only thing they did was they took off the old logo and had a blank burgundy shell.
Oh, I mean, that's
How
better.
would you feel about that?
I kind of think that's the play. I mean, are they going to go with
Danny?
Yes, that's what
100%. So you'd be like the Browns. It'd just be a color-only helmet, but it would have all the exact matching stuff.
I want the fader turned up the most on nothing that has to do with this 2222 stupid Dan Snyder turd in the punch bowl name that I still try not to say. I actively avoid saying it because it makes me mad every time I do. You get rid of all of that stuff, you wash it away, you power wash it, and then you do that nuclear scrub where you're hanging out in like a nuclear zone, and you're like, dude, we can't just let you shower. It's got to be like that super scrub brush shower. That's what I want done to that stupid name that makes me irritated. So yes, get rid of everything.
This. Didn't they I remember them wearing a helmet that was burgundy plain with like John Freeze at quarterback against the Colts in like 94. Like the Schuler era.
You might be right on that. I'm going to have to jog my...
I'm pretty sure they've done this where it was like a throwback.
I think that's quite possible. They also wore that fake leather pebble textured shell once.
Yes. Like the brown ones you're talking about with like the... That was like the RG3 era.
Yeah, special occasion. They lost by 20, something like that.
It was a homecoming game.
See, Grant, your boy Danny, he cares about uniforms.
He loves
you just got to get him going.
You know what? I don't know what you just did, but I need to text you to get insight for the future. We just got Doc talking about an injured player. Who knew that you could even do it?
Yeah, Tarantula. My man.
He is, absolutely. He's a fighting tarantula.
Cyborg. I miss Doc. I love Doc.
He's here.
All right, I hate you guys tonight. I hate you guys for the next 12 hours.
Predictions, Abe, real quick.
I'm young enough to predict the Pack. I think it'll be a hell of a game for at least a good 3 quarters. But yeah, tough deals. These games come so quick. It's I don't know if the Skins or Commanders ever had this, but let me tell you, 2 games at home in the first 4 days of the season. Woof! Like nobody needs that.
That's exhausting. That's a lot of sausage.
It's just too much.
Brats and beer.
It's a lot of heavy foodstuffs.
Yeah. Zabe, thank you, buddy.
And then you're welcome. You're welcome, boys. See you later.
See you, bro. There's our guy, Steve Czaban, who's with us, breaking down the Packers, helping us scout the opponent.